The cost estimation can get different classifications depending on the stage of the project. The key documents for defining these classifications are the process flow diagram and also the piping and instrumentation diagram that in general are responsibilities of the chemical process engineer. However, these classifications is not absolute and depends on the institution that are being considered. For instance, according to the Association for the Advancement of Cost Engineering, a cost estimate can be divided in 5 classes, and these classes ranges from class 5 to class 1. And from this table, you can identify that as higher is the class number, less accurate is the cost estimation. So if I consider that I am in the concept screening, not too much of the project is defined. In fact, eventually there is no project yet, it's just verifications and studies. The amount of money expended can vary from minus 50% of the cost estimation up to 100% of the cost estimation. If we are talking about one project that the cost estimate results in a 100% currency, in the end, the amount of money expended can be 50 currency or can be 200 currency, because this is the range of the cost estimation. The cost estimation engineer will define what is the level of accuracy for each cost estimation based on the information available. For class 5, the definition of the project, the primary characteristics for defining the class is the percentage of complete definition, and as we have here from 0 to 2%, most often the cost engineer will use as methodology the capacity factor, parametric models, judgment, or analogy to define or to estimate what is the amount of money for those projects. As the project proceeds and we have more information and engineering documentation is issued during the project, we can have a higher accuracy in the cost estimation. So when we go from class 5 to class 1, now we have around 50% to 100% definition of the project. It's possible with the documentation developed do check, estimate, and bid tender, and the accuracy can be as low as minus 3% in the lower range and plus 3% in the higher range. And there is here, of course, that depending on the available information, it can vary from minus 10% to plus 15%, and verify that it is much lower in terms of range of accuracy than in the class 1. So between class 5 and class 1, we have class 2, 3, and 4 that is defined based on the percentage of complete definition. This is not the only reference that you can use to do the cost estimation or to verify your cost estimation. If we take into account the Project Management Institute, they are responsible for the front-end loading methodology for project management. Here in this table, we can verify that depending on the gate or the front-end load number, we have expectations of cost estimation also. So if we compare or do analogy for the AACE, you can verify that FEL1 is in the business domain and it's very similar to the class 5 in the AACE. So in this case, the cost estimation will vary from minus 50 to plus 100. And if we proceed in the gates, it means that we are defining the project, we are doing the documentation for the project. In the front-end load tree, that is the documentation, the detailing engineering documentation for issuing the engineering, procurement, and construction. we can get cost estimation as low as -5% to plus 15%. And we are able to do that because we have a detailed scope, the process flow diagram is issued, the final version, the pipe instrumentation diagram has the final version, and we have also execution plans. So based on that, there are different classifications for cost estimation, and those classifications helps you to identify what are the accuracy of your cost estimate. If you are in the early stages of your project, of course that the accuracy will not be as high as if you already have the engineering documentation done to do the procurement of the proposals.